The keyboard you are using right now was not designed to help you type faster. It was engineered 140 years ago to prevent a typewriter from jamming. Yet, even as technology left those machines behind, the same bizarrely inefficient layout controls every phone and computer. Billions remain trapped by a decision made before the light bulb, wasting untold hours and effort. Why are we still using a tool built to limit us? The answer reveals how technology can lock society into invisible chains. It all starts with a problem no longer relevant in the digital world. Christopher Latham Sholes faced a stubborn problem in his Milwaukee workshop. Early typewriter prototypes, built with Samuel Soule and Carlos Glidden, jammed constantly. The culprit was the machine's own design. Type bars, those slender metal arms, would collide whenever a typist struck common letter pairs in quick succession. With each jam, the flow of writing halted, forcing the operator to stop and untangle the mess. Sholes tried an alphabetical layout at first, but testers like Robert Clefane reported that words like "the" or "street" brought the machine to a standstill. The solution was not springs or new materials, but a radical rearrangement of the keys themselves. Sholes, with advice from James Densmore, began shifting frequently paired letters, like T and H, farther apart on the keyboard. By 1873, the familiar QWERTY pattern took shape, designed not for comfort or speed, but to scatter troublesome combinations and keep the type bars moving freely. When Remington and Sons, better known for rifles than office equipment, bought the rights and began mass production in 1874, their version cemented the layout. Remington No. 2, released in 1878, added a shift key for capitals. The core QWERTY arrangement remained, a mechanical fix locked in by necessity, not by any vision of typing efficiency. Stories about the QWERTY keyboard often claim it was built to slow typists down, but historians and archival records tell a different story. In 1873, Christopher Sholes designed the QWERTY layout for the Sholes and Glidden typewriter. His primary goal was to separate commonly used letter pairs like S and T to prevent the physical type bars from clashing and jamming during fast typing. The myth of deliberate slowdown took hold in popular culture, repeated in articles, textbooks, and museum exhibits. But when researchers examined correspondence and patents from Christopher Sholes, they found no evidence of a plot to hamper speed. Sholes kept experimenting with new layouts even after QWERTY hit the market, filing patents for alternate designs as late as 1889. His focus remained on smoother operation, not on holding anyone back. Media accounts sometimes confuse the real goal, avoiding jams, with the unintended outcome. The layout scattered common letters into awkward corners. Typists gained reliability, but they paid an ergonomic price. The story stuck because it fit a neat narrative, technology designed to limit human potential. The reality is more complicated. QWERTY's odd arrangement was a side effect of mechanical engineering, not a conspiracy to frustrate generations of writers. Historians point to the lack of any direct documentation supporting the myth. Instead, they highlight how the legend grew as a kind of cultural shorthand for technological inertia. The truth is less dramatic, and it reveals how easily a practical solution can be misremembered as a deliberate obstacle. Once QWERTY became the standard on Remington's typewriters, its grip tightened for reasons that went far beyond engineering. The keyboard spread through offices and schools, created a self-reinforcing cycle. Every new typist learned QWERTY because every typewriter used it, and every business bought QWERTY machines because that is what workers knew. Economists call this path dependence, a pattern where early choices, even if arbitrary or inefficient, become nearly impossible to escape as more people and institutions buy in. The cost of retraining an entire workforce loomed large. In the 1940s, Navy studies showed that switching to alternatives like Dvorak could boost speed and cut fatigue, but the gains were quickly overshadowed by the expense and disruption of retraining. By the 1950s, the United States government quietly investigated the idea of a national switch. Analysts weighed the potential benefits against the reality. Tens of thousands of typists would need weeks of new instruction, new manuals, and new equipment. The projected cost was so high that the plan was shelved, leaving QWERTY untouched. No single memo or law kept it in place, just the massive invisible weight of collective habit and the fear of lost productivity. The result was a system locked in not by merit, but by momentum, with institutions shaping the future of typing as much as any inventor ever had. August Dvorak, a professor and Navy veteran, believed the keyboard could be more than a relic of mechanical compromise. In 1936, he patented the Dvorak Simplified Keyboard, a layout that put the most common letters A, O, E, U, I, D, H, T, N, and S right under the fingers on the home row. This design was not just theoretical. Navy typists retrained on Dvorak posted speed increases of up to 40%, with reports of less fatigue after long shifts. The numbers tell their own story. On QWERTY, a professional's fingers might travel 1 to 2 miles in a day of typing. With Dvorak, that distance drops by more than half. Some estimates put the reduction at over 60%, turning a marathon into a quick walk across town. Dvorak's approach was rooted in English letter frequency, clustering vowels and common consonants for efficiency. While QWERTY scattered effort across weak fingers and awkward reaches, Dvorak concentrated movement where the hands are strongest. The change was measurable and immediate in controlled trials, but outside the lab, adoption stalled. Despite clear ergonomic gains and documented speed records, the world's offices and classrooms stuck with what they knew. The existence of a better design was never in doubt, only its place in a system already set in its ways. The QWERTY layout, born from the clatter of 19th century type bars, now stares out from every glowing screen. Computers and smartphones have no metal arms to jam, no ribbons to tangle, yet the same scattered keys persist, unchanged, unchallenged, and everywhere. The logic behind their survival is not technical but psychological. Tech companies, facing billions of users trained on QWERTY, have little appetite for disruption. Muscle memory rules the day, and even the boldest startups shy away from forcing a new habit. When Apple launched the first iPhone in 2007, the on-screen keyboard mimicked QWERTY exactly, despite touchscreens freeing designers from mechanical limits. Thumb typing on a glass slab is nothing like hammering away at a Remington. Yet users still stretch awkwardly for letters, favoring familiarity over comfort. The cost of this inertia is more than a few extra keystrokes. Office workers report hand and wrist pain at rates that would have baffled Scholes and Densmore. According to the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, up to 90% of work-related upper limb disorders among office workers are linked to computer use, including keyboards. Repetitive strain injuries, once rare, are now a quiet epidemic, aggravated by layouts designed for typewriters, not tendons. The irony is hard to ignore. The world's most advanced devices cling to a system built to solve a problem that no longer exists, all to protect the muscle memory of the masses. Meanwhile, the physical toll mounts, and the promise of digital progress gets lost in a tangle of old habits. Inventors and enthusiasts have never stopped searching for ways around the QWERTY trap. In 2006, a programmer named Coleman introduced Colemak, a keyboard layout designed to bridge the gap between comfort and convention. Colemak changes just 17 keys from QWERTY, keeping most shortcuts and muscle memory intact, but it manages to cut finger travel by nearly half. For those who type all day, that means less strain and more speed, without the steep learning curve of Dvorak. Some take efficiency even further. In courtrooms and live captioning booths, professional stenographers use chording keyboards, devices with keys pressed in combinations, like playing chords on a piano. With this method, seasoned users can reach speeds of 200 words per minute or more, outpacing the fastest QWERTY typists by a wide margin. The world record for stenotype typing stands above 375 words per minute, a feat no standard keyboard can touch. Meanwhile, the rise of virtual reality and touchscreens has inspired experiments with gesture-based input and custom layouts that break free from the old grid. Hobbyists program their own keyboards, swapping layouts in seconds, and some workplaces quietly support alternatives for employees who ask. The lesson is clear: even as QWERTY dominates, the urge to find something better keeps sparking new ideas, reminding us that the future of typing is still being written. Every day, billions of people type on a system engineered for problems we no longer face. As technology evolves, our habits remain chained to history, not efficiency. The real obstacle was not the keyboard. It is our willingness to question what we have always accepted. Change starts with asking why we still settle.